Hey, Billy, how do we create systems that support neurodivergent people throughout life, not just school?
Yeah, it's such a great question, isn't it? Because it's so much of what we're doing is thinking about, like for me, a big part of the podcast and the social enterprise is like, how do I create a safer and healthier community outside of for my kids when I'm gone?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. That seems wild and completely arrogant and overly ambitious, but that's where I will enjoy putting my energy.
So?
And yeah, it meets the need in me and blah, blah, blah. But I think there's a beautiful thing in that of like how I think schools are like really the last bastion of community, aren't they?
Yep.
When you think about it, like so many have fallen. And people will be like, oh, it's because of social media. Oh, it's because of smartphones and all that stuff. But it's because there's a need in us to connect. It's been lost in other ways. And thinking about how can we actually support schools enough, resource schools enough with actual evidence-based, like, you know, it's a bit too specific, but randomized controlled trials with proper controls and all that stuff, and test systems that are co-designed with individual schools to meet their tailored needs.
Do you know anyone that's done that, Billy?
I do, yes. I don't want to bang on about the PhD too much, but my point is like, because that won't be the only method, but yeah, but you know what I mean? Like my thing is like, schools can be the place that lead the way in this if they're appropriately resourced. The best thing that a school does is create a community that's inclusive of everyone. So neurodiversity is really important in this, isn't it?
Yes.
But that's the best thing that they can do.
Yep.
Like we've got such a prioritisation on the score the kid gets, how good they are at maths. Those are not the predictors of lifelong adult success. Being a partnership with community, adult mental health, relationships, even income, even like trajectory through school. It's the social and emotional environment. It's how safe the space is, how genuinely and truly inclusive it is. And I think schools can lead the way on this. They just need to be resourced to do so. But I think that's how we do it. Guiding Growing Minds goes into corporations. Like we do stuff with big banks and big organisations that sit outside of schools and build their capacity to identify and support kids that are struggling. But schools is where the focus is for me, because I think there's just so much that we can achieve there, but we just need to give the proper support and resources and space to do it, which means dropping a lot of other stuff. You know, you can't put more on educators' plates. You can't put more in those environments without taking stuff off them and giving them more space and support and training and money, blah, blah, blah.
Yep. Sorry, got a bit lost there as deep in thought on the subject of it.
I mean, you've got more experience with schools than I do, but I think there's, you know, if we can do it better, there's just so much potential to improve. And there's these what we call positive deviant schools. And I did research on this 8 years ago on positive deviant schools, which is a cool term, isn't it? It's like a school or a positive deviant. I like being called a deviant.
Divergent. Like
so just someone who's doing something differently but actually
sounds like a maverick.
Yeah, exactly. So maverick schools.
Renegade maverick.
And we know what maverick schools do without going deep into that research. We know what maverick schools do and they do stuff differently.
Okay.
They collaborate across the community. They're inclusive environments. They use the evidence. They have structured ways that support. They're proactive in how they support all their kids. They don't come in when a kid has been bullied and say, what are we going to do now? They've got a setup that actually works, that they evaluate and measure to ensure that kids aren't experiencing bullying. Remembering that 50%, just shy of 50% of kids with autism will experience significant bullying in their childhood. Wild.
Okay.
Yep. They're 3 to 4 times more likely to have suicidal ideation.
Okay.
You know, these are vulnerable kids because of the environment. Okay. And the school environment is the one that's best set up to use the evidence and be predictable and be safe, so that it can inform the rest of the community. And when kids get out of school, they go, the world shouldn't be like this. When they meet relationships or environmental workplaces that aren't genuinely inclusive, and they go, this isn't good enough, instead of, I just need to suck it up because I need to work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Ambitious, but let's see in 20 years' time. I'd be like, who was I kidding? I hope not.
Don't think so, Billy.
Yeah, we'll see.
This podcast is brought to you by Guiding Growing Minds, a social enterprise that aims to give all children the best opportunity to reach their potential and succeed in living rich and meaningful lives.